Okay, so this is the next one on the list we have to do. So basically, this is going to be the first corner we go to with the bomb, and this is gonna be the second corner we go to with the bomb, right? Everyone knows this boss, everyone has heard that this is the bomb boss, right? So these two places are the most important locations in the entire fight. After that comes every other mechanic, but when you have a bomb, you run along whatever wall you're planning to go to, and you get there. You never run through the middle, you always hug the walls. That's basically it. If you heard nothing else in this video, that's it. You have the bomb, you run along the walls, and you run to these corners. And you do it when there's 6 seconds left on the bomb, right? That means that when there's 6 seconds left on your bomb, you start, let's say you go here, right? You have 6 seconds left, you run to the blue corner because that's where no one is standing, so you do that, right? If you need to run to the green corner, you need to stand according. Okay, so I have 8 seconds left. Oh shit, someone's in moving towards the blue corner. I need to go to the other one, right? So you spend 2 seconds get over here. Then when there's 6 seconds left, you wait here patiently until 6 seconds left, and then you run into this corner, right? You never run in the middle, right? Because imagine if two people are running in the middle, then you're gonna be closer to the blue than you wanna be, right? The further closer you can get to the wall, the better, right? That just makes you a better player. It means less damage to the whole rate and so on, right? I'll explain why that is in a second. So basically the idea is the closer you are to something, right? The closer you are to something, that's gonna increase the damage. So let's say that this one here is actually those whelps were fucking grateful. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't think there's any others. Anyways, cool. So basically this here and this here, right? This means basically max damage. This is as much damage as you can go get out, right? So let's say that this is one person and this is the other, right? And let's say I go back here. Right, now I do less damage because the the purple on the ground is still the closest person to me, right? So the distance between me and the closest person is going to determine how much damage I'm doing to the raid, right? Let's say, yeah, let's just use the caster location, right? So most casters are doing the fight, they basically stand here in front of this circle, right? This is where the casters stand. This is where we try to keep the boss, right? And this is where the melee stand, like something like this, right? And then the healers will be standing up here. I feel like I'm going all over the place, but it should be good enough to follow, right? So basically this is where the position is of everyone. So let's say I'm here with the bomb, then the caster's gonna determine who's gonna do the most damage to the raid. If I stand here, then the melee is gonna determine who's gonna do the most damage to the raid, right? So I just want to be as far away as possible. But let's say I'm here, right? I am here standing, waiting for my bomb to explode, and then meanwhile some dumbass who didn't watch this video runs up to me and he's standing right in front of me. Then that damage is going to be to the whole raid. It's not just gonna be to him. He didn't just fuck up for himself. He fucked everyone else up, right? That's really, really important bit to understand. I think that is everything about the bomb. There is not much else to it, right? You get increased healing, so you can use a health crystal, and then you get healed a lot more, and you also do 100% more damage. That's also why you want to use it for the few seconds that you have it before you actually have to start running, right? You get the bomb, you have it for 20 seconds or whatever. When there's 6 seconds left, you run out, like I just explained. Okay, back to what I should probably started with. When you get into the room, you need 200 arcane resistance. You don't technically need 200, but 200 is basically the base standard that we set for people. And the reason we set that standard is because it's healable, and it used to be the benchmark. It was either you had over 200 or it was an instant wipe. So we just keep that as a benchmark, and it works really well. So therefore, use your entire arcane resistance set, unless you have the arcane resistance buff, then you can take some pieces off and use it. So let's not wipe before we get here, but if you have died, to make sure you have 200. Okay, I think that is basically it about the arcane resistance. And again, I already showed you where to stand. Anyone who can dispel arcane prison. Arcane prison needs to be dispelled. It doesn't need to be dispelled like after 2 seconds. It needs to be dispelled instantly. And the reason it needs to be dispelled instantly is because it does like 2k damage a second, and it's going to kill you, and you cannot resist any of its damage. So there's no healing through it. Well, if you put heavy heal on it, maybe, but it's a waste of mana, right? Just dispel it. That's the fastest way and cheapest way to get rid of it. So if you can dispel, dispelling is definitely the top priority. Doesn't matter if you're DPS or tank, Dispelling is key. That's the faster you can do it, the better, right? So Arcane Prison and the bomb, if you can deal with that, you have almost completed the fight, right? Then there's gonna be purple marks on the ground. They're gonna spawn, right? And they're gonna be something like this size. Let's try and see if I can paint something that looks like it, right? So they're gonna be something like this size. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. So I don't stand in the purple shit on the ground, I won't die? No, that's not how it works. It needs to be soaked. It needs to be soaked by one of the guys who just had the bomb. Not with the bomb, but after they have blown up with the bomb and they come back in. They can then soak these because they're taking 90% reduced arcane damage, right? If there's not a soaker in the mark, the whole raid basically wipes because we all take like 10k plus arcane damage, right? Unless we resist it, but let's not count on it. So basically we need a soaker. And even worse about these fucking shitty marks is they're bigger than they actually look, right? So if I stand here, I might still have the debuff. And that's how you figure out what's going on. You check your debuffs. Do I still have an arcane debuff? It looks like an arcane explosion. If that's ticking down, then you're in danger, right? You need to move out, right? So make sure that you don't have the debuff, right? If you have the debuff, you are screwed. If you're standing in the mark, you're of course gonna have it. But if you stand like on the edge of it, it happens every week. Someone dies because they're thinking, oh, I'm not staying in the purple shit on the ground. Well, you technically are, because you still have the debuff, right? So just make sure you move out. Also, it drops based on threat, right? The big mark on the ground drops based on threat. That's why healers almost never get it, because healers are almost never so high on the threat table that they actually get it. Also, the bomb is given to people based on what number they are on a threat or if they have a debuff. If you're actively attacked by the boss, well, basically not actively attacked. It's if you have the debuff from the auto attack from the boss, you cannot get the bomb. If you have the what is the next thing called? If you if you have the debuff from the boss, you cannot get the bomb. If you have the the rune prison, you cannot get the bomb. If you have the is there anything else to stop it? I don't think there's anything else that stops it, right? So it's gonna try and give the to highest threat. It's gonna try and give the bomb to the highest threat, but the tank almost always have the auto attack mark or the thing he gets, right? Amplified magic or whatever. And then he's gonna try and give it to second threat. If second threat has the debuff from the bomb earlier, it will not go to him. If he has arcane prison, it will not go to him. So then it will be like number 4 in threat, right? So just keep that in mind. If you're in top 10, there's a big likelihood you'll get it because the guys who are like top 2, top 3, top 4, they probably already had a bomb, right? Especially when we get into like 50%, 40%, something like that. Yeah. Like the boss is really fucking simple. There is not that much to do on it. It's just basically don't fucking die with the bomb in the raid and make sure you soak the marks on the ground. That's it, and have your arcane resistance on. The only intensity in this fight is the healing part, but the healers are in a super privileged position in this fight because they get to just stand still, right? There's no mechanic they have to deal with. And because there's no mechanic they have to deal with, they can literally just look at the raid frames. And if there's ever a circle under them, I promise you, someone will yell out, healers move, right? You as a healer, you're never in danger. Like, the circle on the ground in this fight is a lot easier not to die to, because it, first of all, it lasts longer than Fissure, it's much bigger and clearer to see, and it ticks after, what is it? And if just one person soaks it, it doesn't do anything to the raid. Like, it does a little bit of damage, but not a lot. So there is basically nothing that's gonna kill you, right? Like if it was a void zone, it would do damage immediately. If it was a fissure, it will kill you after 3 seconds. Like they're much more forgiving, so you should not be able to die in them, right? They require a special kind of lag or a special kind of chromosome to die in. Other than that, I think we're golden. Again, if you have any questions, you can always just reach me on the Discord, right? Yeah, that should be good enough. See you all later on the next one. Bye.